What's the one thing you already do every single day that you could turn into English practice without adding extra study time? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English with Adam. I'm Adam, and today we're talking about something that can totally change the way you learn English: how to make English part of your daily routine without feeling like you're studying all day long. Because honestly, most people think learning English means sitting at a desk with grammar books for 2 hours every night. And yeah, studying is important sometimes. But the thing is, the people who improve the fastest are usually the people who surround themselves with English every single day in small and consistent ways. So today, I'm going to show you how to use podcasts like this one in the morning, before bed, and even during your commute, so English slowly becomes part of your life. Alright, first point: morning English habits. So, mornings are actually one of the best times to learn English passively because your brain is fresh. You don't have to study hard first thing in the morning. Please don't do that to yourself, alright? But you can expose yourself and your brain to English early in the day. And honestly, even 10 minutes help. Here's a super simple morning routine. When you wake up, instead of immediately scrolling through social media for 30 minutes, try listening to an English podcast while you brush your teeth, make coffee, and get dressed. It doesn't even have to be intense listening. Just hearing English naturally every morning trains your ears. Your brain starts recognizing rhythm, pronunciation, and even common phrases automatically. And here's something important: don't worry if you don't understand every word. A lot of learners get stuck because they think they need to know 100% all the time. But native speakers don't even catch every single word sometimes. Your goal in the morning is exposure. That's it. Maybe you hear phrases like, "Good morning, everyone." Today we're going to talk about "that reminds me of." And after hearing those phrases again and again, they start to feel natural to you. And here's another thing I can recommend: try talking to yourself a little in English during your morning routine. Not full conversations, just simple thoughts. Like, okay, I need coffee, or I'm going to make coffee, or I'm really tired today. Where are my keys? This traffic is going to be terrible. Tiny moments like that matter way more than people think. Because learning English isn't only about understanding English, it's also about training your brain to think in English little by little. And at first, it feels weird. But after a while, it starts becoming automatic. Alright, on to the second point: using your commute to learn English. Your commute might secretly be the best English classroom you already have. And the crazy part is, most people waste it completely. If you drive to work, ride the bus, walk somewhere, or even shop for groceries every day, that's the time you can use for passive learning. Now, passive learning doesn't mean doing nothing. It means learning while doing something else. So, instead of listening to random noise, try building an English listening habit during your commute. Podcasts are amazing for this because they sound natural and conversational. You hear real pacing, real emotions, real pronunciation, all the stuff textbooks usually don't teach very well. Here's an effective method. First day, just listen normally. Don't pause constantly, don't translate every sentence, just listen and relax. Then maybe the next day, listen to the same episode again, and you start to notice something interesting. The second time, your brain catches more. You certainly hear words you missed before. You understand jokes more easily. You recognize expressions faster. That repetition is powerful. And honestly, repetition gets a bad reputation because people think it's boring. But repetition is exactly how humans learn language naturally. Kids repeat things constantly. Native speakers repeat phrases constantly. So if you listen to the same podcast episode 2 or 3 times, that's not failure, that's smart learning. And here's another tip: shadowing. This is really good exercise. Basically, while listening, you quietly repeat what the speaker says a second later. Not perfectly, don't worry about perfection. Just imitate the rhythm and pronunciation. For example, if a podcast says, "Today we're talking about daily habits," you repeat, "Today we're talking about daily habits." And yes, at first you might feel awkward doing this in traffic or on the bus, but it can really help you with pronunciation. If you feel uncomfortable doing it on the bus quietly, you can keep that part of the lesson towards when you're walking towards the bus stop, towards wherever you're going, or even when you're in your house cleaning or cooking or doing anything in the house. And then you can keep just the listening by itself part while you're in the bus or in public. A lot of learners understand English pretty well, but freeze when speaking because their mouth isn't used to producing the words quickly. Shadowing helps fix that. Alright, third point: learning English before bed. Your bedtime routine is another huge opportunity for passive English learning. And actually, this might be my favorite one because it's calm, relaxing, and easy to stay consistent with. Before bed, your brain is slowing down. You don't want stressful stuttering at that time. So instead of forcing yourself to memorize grammar rules at 11 o'clock at night, try softer English exposure. Maybe listen to a calm English podcast while laying in bed, like this one. Maybe watch 10 minutes of an English video with subtitles. Maybe read 1 or 2 pages of a simple English book. Keep it relaxing. The goal before bed is consistency, not intensity. And there's something interesting about nighttime listening too. Sometimes your brain processes language in the background while you sleep. Not in some magical movie way, but repeated exposure absolutely helps strengthen memory. That's why listening to English regularly before bed can improve comprehension over time. Oh, and one thing I really recommend: end your day with English instead of ending your day with frustration. Don't go to bed thinking my English is terrible, I'm not improving, I'll never sound fluent. Because honestly, language learning is slow sometimes. Progress can feel invisible for weeks. But if you're listening every morning, practicing during your commute, hearing English before bed, you are improving. Even if it doesn't feel dramatic right away, little habits build fluency. That's the secret most people miss. Not motivation, not talent, consistency. Making English part of your life. And honestly, I think this is the biggest mindset shift learners need. Stop treating English like a school subject that only exists during study time. Instead, make English part of your actual life. Listen while cooking, while cleaning, while walking, while exercising. The more English connects to real daily experiences, the more natural it becomes. Because eventually your brain stops thinking, okay, now I'm studying English, and starts thinking, this is just part of my day. And that's when real confidence starts growing. And with that, that's gonna be it for today's episode of English with Adam. Again, my name is Adam, and I hope this helped you realize that you don't need perfect study routines or 5 free hours every day to improve your English. Sometimes the biggest improvements come from small daily habits that feel easy enough to repeat consistently. So here's your challenge for today. Pick one moment in your routine, your morning, your commute, or your bedtime, and just add 10 minutes of English listening. That's it. Keep it simple, keep it realistic, and more importantly, keep it going. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments below. And remember to like and subscribe if you found this helpful. And I'll see you in the next video.